Welcome to the live chat, everybody. Super excited to have you here. This is, of course, our Friday 12 p.m. live chat. Of course, you can catch this streaming 2 times a week, Monday at 4, Friday at 12, but not for the next 3 weeks, guys. I'm going on holiday, so there will not be any regularly scheduled live streams during that time. Please be aware. So if you're showing up for a live stream, I won't be here. But I will try and do a few videos for you guys while I am out and about on the road. Maybe do some a little bit of vlogging. I have pre-recorded a few videos for you guys, so keep that in mind. There will be some videos coming out. I've got a smart cash video. Yes, Brad, we finally got a smart cash video. It's coming. I'll release it next week. Got a video on Zcoin for you guys coming up as well. A couple interviews. I was able to sit down with the guys from PIVX and the guys from Cloudmining. I need to edit those up and get them rendered and all that fun stuff, and I'll get those released for you guys next week as well. So there's still some stuff coming for you guys. Next week, and I really hope to be able to get to do some, maybe at least the news videos. If I can maybe do the Bitcoin news video or the altcoin news video. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff. So much going on in the news. If you have time, maybe you can make another video from Red Pulse, or maybe for an interview, Ask Lucas. Yeah, there's definitely, someone was asking yesterday as well, Lark, can you do some update videos? And that's something I've been thinking about as well. Because I review these different projects, and then, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later or whatever, you kind of look back and like, oh, that was an ancient video I made. So I will be doing actually some update videos, really just specific on individual projects. So, really looking at that, and, like Neo re-reviewed, or Neo 2.0, for example, stuff like that. So all of that and more, of course. Now, I wanted to show you guys this because this is hilarious. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but AdBank, they're just starting their ICO today. And look, this is not an official endorsement of the AdBank ICO or anything like that, but oh my god, they have the funniest, absolute funniest ICO advertisement I've ever seen. You guys gotta come over here and check this out. It's the audio adds in. It's even more fun. But you can come and check this out. Blockchain tech is ad fraud's worst nightmare. It's hilarious, guys. Seriously. Okay. I wanted to show you guys this as well. These are a picture that Dave took. This is Dave and Spencer. They both went to the NAC3 blockchain conference in Las Vegas. They, of course, won those free tickets that David Hay passed on to me. So, awesome to see them actually meeting up at the conference and doing all that stuff. So that is really cool to, see them out there doing that, getting to conferences, and this is something you guys should actually check out. If there are conferences in your neighborhood or in your town or in the next town over, you should actually look and going and checking one out, because if you're really into cryptocurrencies, get to meet people, go to meetups, go and actually talk to people, and do all these things and get involved in the community, because that's what it's all about. And I know everyone's just not everyone, but too many people are focused on getting that Lamborghini and all this stuff. Yeah, that's cool too, but like, honestly, there's an amazing community out here being built around these different cryptocurrencies, and that is really, really cool. So this is one of the ways that you can give back to cryptos, help spread the word, help build that community, find the projects that you really like. There's some amazingly strong communities out there that are being built around different coins. So, get involved, guys. Get involved. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit, before we get too far in depth here, about my portfolio. Now, look, I never actually got around to taking some screenshots of my Blockfolio to show you guys. I thought that'd be the easiest way, but I wanted to talk a little bit about basically what is in my portfolio and, how it's developed over time. So it's interesting, actually. And basically, I tried to keep about 50% of my portfolio into Bitcoin. Now, the funny thing is, I've got a decent amount invested into cloud mining, so I could count that on top there. But actually, because of the price run-ups in some things like Ethereum and Cardano, for example, actually Bitcoin's become about 30% of my my total holdings. So it's gone down, but not because I haven't invested in it, just because everything else has gone up so much. So Bitcoin's actually making up around 30% of my investment. But actually, if you look across, as I've always said before, really it's about maintaining that kind of low risk profile. I was able to get some more Ethereum into my profile, which is really nice. So that is really cool. That's making up about 15% at the moment. Now, Litecoin, I wish I had more Litecoin. It makes up about 5% of my portfolio, but man, I wish I had lots more because, wow, it has done amazingly well recently. So that's really cool. No Ripple, no Bitcoin Cash. I've got a decent little amount of IOTA that makes up probably about 5% of the portfolio as well. I was lucky to get in on IOTA when it was, still 35, 40, 50 cents, whatever. So, that's really cool. NEM, actually, it's funny because as much of a huge supporter of NEM as I am, and as much as I love it, that only actually makes up about 2% of my portfolio. I'm ashamed to say because I'm a massive NEM supporter. I got caught up buying Cardano and other things instead of NEM when NEM was cheap. So now I've got to wait for a pullback on NEM, or hope for a pullback on NEM. I don't know if it's going to come, at least not as substantial as I want it. But that's the reality of the world, guys. Now, EOS as well is one that I added into my portfolio, and I'm really happy with the performance on EOS. Now, if you go back to my portfolio video that I made probably like 2 months ago now, I don't think I had EOS on yet. It was one that I was kind of looking to add in, and actually when it got down to the price that I wanted it to, wow, it was an amazing time to get in. Just recognized the opportunity, was able to get in and get a little bit, and that was really cool. And so now EOS makes up about 5% of my portfolio as well, so that is a really cool one. NEO, it's about 10% as well. So you can see, guys, the majority of my portfolio is top 20 stuff. I got a little bit of Qtum, haven't added to that actually forever. Crypto Spark in the house. What's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. And it's not that I don't like Qtum. I do. I just haven't added to it. It's I try not to get too chasing around different things, but I would like to consolidate some of my positions. I haven't added into my Lisk position. Don't know if I will add into my Lisk position. It only makes up about 1% of my portfolio at the moment. Qtum only makes up about 1% as well. Stratus is one I would like to add to, but not at these prices. If it comes back down in the future, that's cool. I'll get back in there and try and jump on that a little bit. But I was happy to get in on that when it was cheap back in the day. But it only makes up about 2.5% of my portfolio. It's not a massive amount by any means. Omise Go is one that I've got in as well, and that's about 3% of my portfolio also. So, I really like Omise Go. Again, I've been hodling onto that for ages. I have bought a little more, around $7 and $8, for example, moving on up. So, it's been a pretty good performer. I know it's been kind of chilling out recently, but I really like Omise Go, and I believe in the project quite a bit. So I'm quite happy to be holding on to that one for the long term. Now I've got a little bit of PIVX. Now this is one that I actually really want to add more to my portfolio on, because I think PIVX is just building such an awesome community and really building such an awesome coin that I really like it. Now I missed out on getting it at some of the super cheap prices, but I really think that PIVX has got really just massive upward potential. And actually the funny thing is the more that they get people using PIVX, it actually has the potential to become a deflationary, not an inflationary coin. So they burn the fees that are spent every time a block is generated, but they also create a block reward too. So if the fees outweigh the block reward, then you actually get it going deflationary. So that's pretty cool. Now, moving a little farther down the list, Power Ledger. I've got a big position in Power Ledger. That probably makes up about 7 or 8, 9% even of my overall portfolio. I'm really happy with the way Power Ledger's performed. I'm definitely holding on to this long term. I know I could have tried to, swing it and, get out when it was a bit higher and then get back in. I can't deal with the stress of doing that. So not a problem there. I got into Power Ledger when it was cheap, and again, holding on since then. Okay, moving on. Nexus is a position that I added to just recently. I didn't get it as cheap as I could have, Basically, when it was as cheap as it was, just didn't get in there in time, didn't have the cash on hand, wasn't willing to cash out of something else, in order to get into Nexus. But I did get into it around $1.70 or something like that, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I really, really like Nexus, and I think it's going to be a great long-term hold as they start to develop some of the things that are coming out. So, Taj, thank you very much for the donation, man. Give some thoughts on HAT token. I have no idea what HAT token is, man. Sorry, dude. But thank you very much for the donation. But I have not heard about HAT token. Haven't looked into it, so I can't comment on it, to be honest, man. Request Network is one that I reviewed it a few weeks ago, and actually this is one of my new add-ins, and this one has obviously done very well in the past few days, but I think it's actually got really great long-term potential. When I did the review, when I understood what they were trying to do and the ideas behind Request Network, I thought, wow, cool. And so it makes up about 5% of my current position as well. Navcoin, I love Navcoin. Probably makes up about 2% of my position, and it's a great coin. I don't know if I'm going to be adding any more in anytime soon. Probably would look to add more ADA or more Nexus, for example, over Navcoin, but I'm not getting out of my Navcoin either. I'm definitely holding on to that for the long term. I've got a decent sized bag of metal. I really like metal. It's definitely something that has been taking big hits recently in the market, but I really like the idea of what they're doing, the proof of processed payments, where 5% reward gets given to the buyer and a 5% reward gets given to the seller, and they have FDIC insured bank accounts, really trying to set themselves up as a major payment processor in the US. So we'll see how they come out, though. We'll see how they come out. It would be really cool to see that, to see them move forward and get some positive price action back. But I've seen as a buy point, I bought someone who was like $5.50, and I bought someone who was $9 too. So I'm kind of still slightly down on my metal, but that's okay. I like the project, so I'm hodling onto it. Crypto numbnuts, welcome to the party, man. Ethos is one I have a decent little bag of as well. I really like Ethos. I really like what they're doing. I think when they get going, when that universal wallet gets launched, when the investment options get launched on Ethos, it's going to be a very strong competitor in the place. I think it's probably still a pretty good buy down here at $1.44. It does have a lot of upward potential as more news comes out, as the platform becomes usable moving forward. Substratum, great. Good stuff, Substratum. Have a small bag of that as well. I really like it. Substratum, obviously, with what's just happened today with, I guess it was today or yesterday? Today, actually, with net neutrality laws being repealed in the US. Projects like Substratum are so needed. Projects like Nexus are so needed. Projects like Skycoin, too. And I'm not invested in Skycoin. I don't plan on investing in Skycoin, but man, it's definitely, got big potential. Owen asks, you store all of this on a ledger? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Ledger is the best way to keep it, man. Absolutely, indeed. Now, like, there's one or two of them that you can't store on the ledger, like Navcoin isn't ledger compatible. For example, ADA isn't. ADA, come on, Cardano. Get some hardware implementation for you guys. But, yeah, most of them are stored on a hardware wallet. Now, look, Sonum is one of the ones that I've been into for quite a while as well, and this is a decent size bag also. I really like what Sonum's trying to do. Everyone compares it to Golem, but they're actually doing even more than Golem. They're going to be doing web hosting and all this stuff as well. So they're like Golem plus Substratum together with a really devoted team of, Russian developers who are just, they're great with social media. They've got lots of different stuff coming. There's actually a lot of updates coming for Sonum pretty soon. So, the guys at Sonam have been reaching out to me to, you know, sort of help them get a bit of light on that. So hopefully I'll get maybe another interview in with those guys while I'm on holiday, or, you know, after holidays. So it'd be really cool to actually see what those updates are. And now I've got a little bit of loop ring as well. I did like, you know, what loop ring was doing. It's like a 1% of my my overall holdings. But after that, I don't really have much down here. This is the thing. You guys know I'm kind of more on the risk averse end, and even actually, you know, some of the stuff like Sonam, that's a great, amazing project. A little bit of the riskier side. We'll see what they come out with in the end. But actually, as you go farther and farther down here, the only thing far down this that I've bought is ETHLend. I actually bought that during the ICO, so I bought a little bit of ETHLend. And I bought a little bit of Genesis Vision the other day when it had a nice dip. So, you know, those are the only two things this far down that you'll find me invested in. And, you know, I tend not to come down here this far at all, but there is a lot of great opportunity this far down the chart. So, you know, there's some good projects down here. I did just do a top 10 video on that. Now, look, as opposed to, and there's a couple ICOs I've invested in that, you know, like Comsa, for example, I've got a little bit from that, and like INS I invested in as well, and so that's good. I try not to go, you know, super into too many ICOs. I actually really like the top projects, and, you know, I want to consolidate my positions in Litecoin. I want to consolidate my positions in Dash and, you know, Ethereum, NEM, for example. But that's me. I like the top coins. Like I said, the majority of my portfolio is made up of the top coins. So anyway, guys, just some thoughts for you on my portfolio. As you can see, it is a rather risk-averse portfolio. Most of my holdings are in the top 20, even though I do have a diversification through the top 100 and a couple below the top 100, but not many. Not many. Plemiak, Universa, and Bitclave for me. Yeah, I didn't get in on Bitclave, man. I looked at it a little bit, but I got in on Universa. You know, Universa is a very, very cool one. Very cool one indeed. I really like that. I guess we'll have to see what they can pull off in the end. So we're waiting on that. We're waiting on that. Okay. So I want to talk about the Pineapple Fund. Donating $86 million of Bitcoins to charity. Now, these are some guys who have, yeah, they have made some sick gains, and they're giving back. I like their saying, because once you have enough money, money doesn't matter. Cool. Cloak Bullion. What about Cloak? Question mark. I like Cloak. Actually, I just sat down with the guys from Cloak Coins, so Cloak Bullion, watch out. We're going to see that interview coming out next week. Okay? But this is amazing. These guys giving away 5,000 plus Bitcoin. That is really cool. Actually, so they've already given away some. They have 4,830 Bitcoin still to go. That's amazing. Supporting some different projects like the Water Project and BitGive. So that is amazing. This is just, I wanted to cover this story because it's just a little reminder for you guys. You know, if you have been making some amazing gains, give back a little bit. It's that time of year, guys. You try to give back as a habit anyway. You know, you can set up some regular giving things. You know, you can donate to a charity monthly, $5, $10, $20. It helps those guys out a lot, of course. But definitely at this time of year, you know, if you've made some killer gains throughout the year, think about just giving a little bit back. You know, I'm not saying to the Pineapple Fund, just it can go to, you know, your favorite local charity, or even just, you know, really do get involved and evangelize even a little bit. You know, give somebody, give a family member a little bit of Bitcoin, and then, you know, take them through how to use it, how to send it, how to get it. You know, get them a paper wallet. Why not? That's cool too. That's cool too if that's something I get involved in. Ish asks, due diligence, question mark. If you're asking what due diligence is, this is, you need to do your own research onto a project. You actually have to get in and look and find out, well, who is the team? What is this coin trying to do? Was there a pre-mine? Is it being manipulated by anybody? All this stuff and much, much more. So Something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Lark, we want to hear you say, sick gains. Sick gains. Mr. Splitfoot asks, is there any relation to Weird Al? There is no relation to Weird Al. We just both happen to share, a fascination with mustaches and fantastic hair. Epic lifestyles. I do my research via Superman. You always got to do your own stuff, guys. You really do. You know, all of us YouTubers, we have a lot of great information to give. You know, we spend a lot of time researching. You know, for some of us, this is our full-time jobs. You know, like me and Superman, this is what we do. You know, we can point you guys in the right direction, right? But never go solely off of, you know, what we say by any means. Guys, this is not professional financial advice. It is your money. If you're investing your money based on, you know, what someone on the internet says, well, you need to do a little more research than that, because a lot of people have dishonest intentions. A lot of people out there trying to pump their coins so that they can cash out. There is organized pumping going on. All this stuff, guys, you got to be careful. Jean Jose Garcia Molina. Hey, Lark, thanks again for all. What would you think about a project coin that offers automating airdrops as a product and holders receive those airdrops of new crypto? Castle is doing so. Thanks. Oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. You know, I don't know what the mechanics are on the back end for airdrops, if it is actually a rather difficult thing for developers to set up, then yeah, that's cool. That would actually be a really good project. You know, not knowing the exact mechanics of how the airdrops work really might be very beneficial. So something like that could be. There's definitely a lot of need for building different things on top of the existing networks. So that is really important. And we're seeing this come in. That's what EtherParty's doing. They're making super easy smart contracts. That's what Loopring's doing, right? They're making a protocol that will allow you to do decentralized exchanging. So there you go. Brinks Mining. One of my good friends is a great charity for his daughter called Sloan's House for Children with Rare and Complex Conditions. Definitely a great time to give back, especially with all these sick gains. Thanks for pointing that one out, Brinks Mining. Brinks Mining, do they accept cryptocurrencies by any chance? That would be cool. Original copy. Hey Lark, do you know of any credit lending platforms on the blockchain like fiat style banking we are used to? Well, one lending platform is coming out of Salt Lending, and you're going to be able to put your crypto assets up and you'll get cash back for that. Malkeith77 asks, thank you for the donation, by the way. Since you prefer going with top coins, why no Monero when you have PIVX and NAV? You know, I like Monero. I just don't have any of it. It's one of those things. You know, I just preferred the community behind PIVX, personally. You know, I got involved with Navcoin partly patriotically because it is a New Zealand-based project, to be honest. I like Monero. I wish I had got into Monero a while ago, and I don't think I'm going to get into Monero. Not that I don't like it. It's a great project. Ring signatures is a powerful privacy feature. But I'm not going to get into it. Marlon Robinson asks, how is Salt different than BitConnect? They're completely different. They're not even comparable. Not even comparable, and it's just totally different projects. So BitConnect, what they do, you give them your money. They supposedly have a trading bot, which you're lending that money out, and the trading bot, you know, returns to you essentially over whatever period you've lent them the money for. So that is a, you know, one of these investment lending platforms in that way. Whereas Salt Lending is more traditional. It's kind of like a pawn shop for your Bitcoin. You take your $10,000 of Bitcoin, they'll give you $10,000 cash. You need to come back later with $10,000, well, let's say $11,000 cash, because obviously there's interest charged to get your Bitcoin back. So that are very different. Very, very different. Jazzman the Music. So hodl your Bitcoin or invest in BitConnect? Hodl your Bitcoin, man. HODL your Bitcoin. When you invest in BitConnect, how are we talking about BitConnect? How does this always happen? When you invest in BitConnect, your money is not in your hands. It's locked up with a completely non-transparent organization. You have no idea who the people behind BitConnect are. You have no idea if they actually have a trading bot or any of that stuff. You have given your money away to someone else, and it could drop at any moment. When you have your Bitcoin, you get your Bitcoin and you HODL it, cool. It's yours. Nice. If you have time, could you check out a new ICO ad bank? Oh, we talked about ad bank a little bit earlier. You guys should go and check it out, though. I don't have time to cover it, but go check it out. BitConnect made me $5 million. Good stuff, man. Well done for you. Well done for you, without a doubt. You know, a lot of people have made a lot of money on BitConnect. I am not interested. Zdrovo Lark. Hi from America. Stefan Donica. Cheers, man. Hello from New Zealand. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next story. So, by the way, this is just a quick, public service announcement, guys. At this time of year, please, 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 as always, but please, be careful of scams. Some of it can look really official. Always double check that you're on the official website. Just watch out for it. This is the time of year when there's going to be a lot of donation scams going around. Like, oh yeah, use, donate your ADA here, for example. Cardano's doing a donation thing. Let's do that. No, be really careful, guys. It's that time of year, so it's going to be a lot of that happening. Okay. Moving on to our next story. So, this is a tweet from Edward Snowden. Over the objections of 83% of Americans, the FCC has voted to gift control of the internet to natural monopoly corporations. So net neutrality has been repealed in the United States. This is a devastating blow to internet freedom and just absolutely means that it is time for projects like Substratum, like Skycoin, like Nexus, like MadeSafe. I don't know which one of those is going to be the winner in the end. But with stuff like this happening, this is devastating, absolutely devastating, and it's only going to get worse. This is the thing. It's definitely a slippery slope, as they'll keep pushing it and getting more because basically they have the money to continue the lobby, to continually get these politicians to roll over and, sell out. So we'll see how it goes in the end. BP says it's pure propaganda that people think it is bad for the internet. Look, there's of course propaganda on both sides. You got to keep that real. But anything that net neutrality is overblown, says Michael. Look, perhaps this particular ruling is overblown a bit, maybe. But let's think long term. This is step number 1. And before you know it, it keeps going down and down and down and down and down. The reason you're seeing so much propaganda about net neutrality is because they are taking the power out of the hands of the UN and giving it back to the US. Well, if you mean by giving it back to the U.S., look, we're not trying to make this into a political conversation, guys. I wanted to point this out because it's an important ruling in the U.S., and it's important because here we are all on the internet, and we have projects coming using blockchain technology which are looking to solve those very problems. And so, basically, how much do you trust corporations? How much do you trust your government? This is what it all comes down to in the end, guys. If you trust your government and you trust corporations, well, then you're going to do fine with this. If you don't trust your government, you don't trust corporations, well, cryptocurrencies are here for you. So, this is important, guys. We got to keep, support these decentralized projects that are going to help move us forward. Okay, we're going to skip over that one there. Now, speaking of government, South African tax services researching ways to track Bitcoin transactions. We also saw over in the US that the IRS is trying to chase around transactions as well. So digital currencies are really lacking in that privacy feature, which we really want to see for a lot of them right now. You know, we can see that, for example, Bitcoin transactions are starting to be tracked, and this is just the start of it, right? This is just the start. We'll see more and more ways to track taxes for Bitcoin. And now look, taxes are not something I'm opposed to, but I would actually like to see taxes on the blockchain, because what you have is a situation where, again, we could take the United States, where you have continually policies that are passed that basically are zero, almost zero reference to what people actually want. They've done a study and they found that over like the past 50 years that the majority of legislation put out actually went against public opinion. Now you might think, well, okay, politicians are just doing our best interest. They know better than me. I don't think so. I don't think so. These guys are getting bought out. And, you know, if you take the US as an example, they spend 50+% on military and all these kinds of things. Imagine if you actually had blockchain-based taxation and blockchain-based voting on your taxation. Now, this would actually be a really interesting thing. And this is, again, one of those amazing uses of blockchain that hasn't come in yet. But this will be a future implementation. Obviously, it takes a lot of governance to get on board, and smaller countries that are less corrupt will start doing it first. But imagine a situation where you had a vote on how your taxes were actually going to get spent. You know, do you think that if you were to sit down and decide, okay, I'm going to allocate X amount to taxes, do you think that you would vote to give, you know, more money to congressmen? Would you vote to give more money to the war machine, or you'd vote to give more money to as subsidies to oil corporations and all this stuff? And look, this is what happens now. This is why I think a lot of people have problems with paying taxes, because you pay your taxes into a system that sucks. I like roads. I like public parks. Right? That's the kind of stuff that we need to see our taxes going towards, not towards basically so much of the stuff that it goes towards that most people don't agree with. And while a small percentage of people agree with that because they get paid off of that misrepresentation of public will. But there you go. So many people here have no clue about freedom and the right for free flow of information. Just shocking. Information has to be free. The internet has to be free. Banking needs to be free. All this stuff is offered to us by the blockchain guys, and I know there's a lot of people out there who are very skeptical or very cynical. Will just assume that, you know, people who still assume that, you know, Bitcoin's one giant scheme thought up by the NSA to steal money from poor people, or any other thing that comes out. You know, people look at Horizon State and go, well, that's never going to work. The process will be corrupted and all this stuff. And Horizon State, amazing project. It's going to work because it's on the blockchain, guys. This is the thing. It's not able to be corrupted. So there will be problems. Sure. New tech will come out that'll make the old tech obsolete. But this is moving forward. The challenge we have is that now we have a legacy system where you have a bunch of corrupt dudes sitting in, you know, parliaments somewhere that don't really represent people. And look, that's not representative of New Zealand necessarily. We have a pretty representative government, but nevertheless, I wanted to share it with you guys. Okay, we're going to go on to the next story. Japanese company is thinking of paying salaries in Bitcoin. That's interesting. Now, I want to ask you guys, would you like, if you had the option to receive your salary in Bitcoin, would you? Bro, you sound like a liberal hippie. I am a liberal hippie, 40 Mike. At the end of the day, I'm a liberal hippie who loves new technology because it does actually offer the chance to make a better world. And we can be cynical all day and not care, but at the end of the day, we do have the opportunity to invest in the future here. So I'm getting a lot of yeses in response here to if my salary could be paid in Bitcoin. James wants his salary paid in Monocoin. That's good too. That's good too. That's great. Very cool. Pay me in Bitcoin and ADA. Interesting. Well, that'd be an even more interesting service. Choose which cryptocurrency you'd like to get your salary paid in. There's a space for that. Don't worry, I still love you in crypto as well. It's all good, man. It's all good. We're having fun conversations here. That's the point of it. Blockchain.info launches Bitcoin Cash support, whereas users cry for SegWit. Look, this is definitely a massive problem. We had SegWit come months ago, and yet less than 10% of Bitcoin addresses are SegWit. The major exchanges like Coinbase, for example, they haven't upgraded yet. This is a real problem, guys. One of the things where, you know, Bitcoin Cash keeps coming out and saying, well, hey, look how low our transaction fees are. Well, yeah, but Bitcoin hasn't upgraded to SegWit yet. When we have SegWit, then we're going to have much lower transaction fees. And look, I'm not knocking on Bitcoin Cash here. That's not the point. The point is we have to see the wallets be upgraded to SegWit. I'm already using a SegWit wallet for my ledger. If you guys aren't using a SegWit wallet yet, so that is a Bitcoin wallet address that starts with a 3 instead of a 1, you should be. So, you know, go look into that. Find a wallet that will let you do that. Like I said, I'm using my Ledger wallet now that is a SegWit wallet. Hopefully we can see more of those coming on. We actually have to, as users, start using those wallets, start sending back and forth between those wallets because the fees are going to be so much lower, guys. So, nice. Johan. I use SegWit on Ledger. Good stuff, man. Good stuff to see. Now I want to talk a little about privacy today. So I know we were talking about governments and all that stuff, and look, it's a real problem. You really gotta, you know, look into that if you haven't looked into it. Part of this is why privacy coins are so damn popular, because people understand. People understand they don't want to pay their taxes. They don't want to pay taxes on their Bitcoin because they know where the taxes are going to go. People are worried about privacy. So John McAfee had this tweet yesterday. Said, guys, privacy coins, Monero, Verge, Zcash. This was like the best day ever for Verge supporters. Seriously. 1,823 retweets, 4,700 likes. It's pretty substantial. Of course, he is you know, a pretty big dude in the space, and a lot of people do follow him now. Let's have a quick look. Verge up 138%. Now look, Verge has been doing pretty decent anyway, but that news just absolutely spiked it. So, Mr. Harry Lasagna, I run a node, everyone should too. Yeah, guys, this is the thing, you gotta support the network, and this is why we come back to community, and why community is so important in the space. Because, basically, this doesn't work without people being involved, really. You know, if we're all just here to, you know, get Lamborghinis, it doesn't really work. You actually have to go and, you know, become part of the members of these communities, talk about this stuff with your friends, communicate with people, talk to people, say, hey, guys, you hear about the net neutrality ruling? By the way, there's this cool stuff called cryptocurrencies, and they're working on the solutions for us to get around this. You know, or hey, you want to see the Bitcoin network supported? Run a node. What's a node? Let me help you set it up. I can do that. You know, Maybe that's for people a little more into Bitcoin, but certainly the communities are out there. They're very welcoming for people, you know, really great communities. Just choose a coin or a couple of coins and start getting involved. Start posting, start chatting, start going to blockchain meetups. This is how it happens, guys. This is how we move forward. Phil Berry, thoughts on Super Bitcoin and Bitcoin X? Yeah, WTF. Seriously. What is Super Bitcoin and what is Bitcoin X? Why has this happened? Why? Why? There you go. Chris Glennon, I don't get any rewards holding my 10x in my Ether wallet. Chris, I don't think that they've started issuing rewards yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've actually started doing those payouts yet. On Binance, altcoins can be bought with US dollars. GP Duran. Well, you can buy them with US dollar tether. That's different. It's not US dollars. It's a digital representation of US dollars that are potentially not even real. There's Tether hasn't been audited. Basically, I saw on Twitter, and I didn't go over to verify this, but that Tether has created 100 million new Tether in the last 24 hours. So is that real money, or is Tether going to be an explosion waiting to happen? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see for sure. Okay, this is an interesting one too. Bitcoin Cash working with Cash Shuffle to become privacy enabled. Now, I think we're going to see a lot more of this happening actually, where mainstream coins adopt privacy. Charlie Lee's already talking about doing it with Litecoin. Ethereum's just done it. Bitcoin Cash working on it. I think it's going to keep happening, to be honest. So, moving forward, will all coins be privacy coins? Will that just be the thing that's done? It would certainly make, you know, the cryptocurrency space an interesting one. But I don't know. I don't know if they all will be. I mean, God, could you imagine trying to get privacy enabled on Bitcoin? The kind of drama that would cause? It would be very difficult to do. About $1,000 worth of Bitcoin at its all-time high price, says Doglips. That's okay, man. That's okay. A lot of people bought Bitcoin at its all-time high price at $3,000. Look where they are now. So, it's all right. It's all right. Neo hit 50 bucks on Binance. Nice. Nice. What is your favorite privacy coin, guys? I want to know this. What is your favorite privacy coin? You know, personally, as I was even talking earlier, my favorite privacy coin is PIVX. That is my favorite privacy coin, without a doubt. I like the community, I like the branding, I like the people behind it. I think it's really cool. Oh, we got a lot of Verge supporters in here. I know we do. Ooh, Zencash, that's an interesting one. I like Zencash. Banana Coin, what? Monero, Verge, a lot of Monero supporters. Monero's a great coin, guys. It's definitely one that's done really, really well for a long time. BP does not like privacy coins. Cloak Coin, a few Cloak Coin supporters in here. That's cool. Cloak Coin's cool. It's, you know, it's definitely an under the radar one. Monero, but it's too much, says Crypto Numbnuts. Verge miner. Oh, nice. Mr. Harry Lozani is mining that Verge. That is a good one to be mining, without a doubt. Now look, if you look across the privacy coin space, obviously Monero has exploded. I remember when it was like 45, 50 bucks a few months ago. And it's just gone up and up and up and up and up. Of course, a lot in the market has, but Monero has stayed on top. In fact, it's stayed ahead of Zcash. People seem to prefer Monero over Zcash. I think Monero's got the stronger community, actually, when it comes down to it. So that's really cool. But if you start looking farther down the space, you think, well, you know, Monero, maybe it's gone a little bit too far already. Maybe it's overvalued. Maybe I want to get in on the next Monero. Well, there are a lot of projects that are still, a bit farther down the list. PIVX, Verge, both nice privacy coins. PIVX has just done the Zero Coin protocol. Verge has got the Wraith protocol, which has come out recently. So that's really cool. And even going a bit farther down, Zcoin has been on fire recently. I remember when I first looked at Zcoin a few months ago, it was like $7 or $8 or something like that, 10, 15 bucks. It wasn't worth very much at all. And it's just been exploding. Massive demand, massive community being built for this one in Southeast Asia, actually. If you look at the markets, a big percentage of the buyers are coming from actually Bitcoin Indonesia, the exchange, and from like Bitcoin Thailand. So, wow. Very cool one to keep an eye on. That is still quite undervalued compared to some of the other coins much higher up in the space. So there's still some really good potential for returns with Zcoin. And if you have a spare $60,000 on your hands, you can always set up a Zcoin node as well. So there you go. Now, look, there's a lot of other privacy coins down the list. You can always try and find one that's a bit farther down. Of course, we have Nav. Nav's been doing really well recently. You can always try and look farther down and find the ones that really haven't built up that value yet, because privacy coins are so popular. They have all been doing well, and I think they will continue to do well moving into the future as governments continue to make anti-cryptocurrency moves. So anyway, just some thoughts, guys. Now, this is an interesting story I want to share with you guys. Now, Munchie ICO, I reviewed this ICO a couple months ago. I really liked the idea behind it. They're setting up this basically like Yelp kind of TripAdvisor thing where, you have verified accounts and you actually get rewarded for commenting on restaurants and stuff like that. Whereas now you go to Yelp or TripAdvisor and you create content for them for free, and they get to benefit from your work making free content for them, which kind of sucks. Whereas Munchie was actually looking to do the opposite, reward you for doing that. So, we see a lot of this happening in the blockchain. Now, they've been shut down by the SEC. Interesting. At the time, they were saying, well, look, we're a utility token. When I went to a blockchain meetup here in Wellington a couple weeks ago, the guy was saying, we actually had someone there talking about standards, and a lawyer came to talk as well, and they were saying, hey, look, it's all good if you call yourself a utility token, but it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what your team thinks. It actually matters in the end what the standards authorities actually going to think. They're going to look at it, run their metrics, and even if you say, well, it's just a utility token, it doesn't matter. And the case of Munchie, the SEC said, actually, I know you think it's a utility token, but it's not a utility token, and we're not going to consider it as a utility token. So I hope this isn't the beginning of something where we actually see a lot more US-based ICOs being shut down by the SEC. Would not be cool. Maybe it's time for more companies to move to Canada. Just a thought. Just a thought. And another interesting thing in the space, John Madcat, does anyone know Hashflare max hash rate for one account? I think you can go basically as high as you want. I mean, until they run out of hash rate, of course, which will happen at some point, but they make miners themselves, so I don't think they're going to run out anytime soon. Now, Indiegogo is going to start doing an ICOs. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, we already have cryptocurrency projects which are doing this. Now, for example, Kick ICO, they're basically Indiegogo for ICOs. That's what they do. They're already doing that, right? Does this spell bad news for Kick ICO? Is Kick ICO even going to get kicked farther down the CoinMarketCap list as companies like this actually come in and start doing that? Interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Now, I think the real future of this is actually probably going to be more based on current cryptocurrency platforms. Binance, for example, they've just done the Gifto ICO, which is cool. They've done that on their Binance Launchpad. Now, this is a return to something that Binance was actually trying to do earlier. Binance, I think, initially had like, I think they had Tron and maybe something else listed initially on their website because they had this ICO launcher and the whole China thing happened. They had to take them down and all this drama. But this is the first one after that. I think that Binance will probably be a place where a lot of that crypto money will flow. Robinhood as well, they're doing the ICO underwriting service. Maybe Kick ICO will stay relevant. They've actually done a few really exciting ICOs recently over on Kick ICO. They've done Universa, and they're doing INS World right now, so maybe we'll continue to see that happen moving forward. So, but it'll be interesting. Interesting to see these mainstream players like Indiegogo actually getting involved in ICOs. In fact, I'm kind of surprised it's taken so long, considering that we've had billions of dollars in ICOs go through this year. So, Tracy Hunter, the wallet situation will keep beginners out of a lot of coins. Yeah, it will. It will to an extent, I think. You know, people are trying to make that easy. There are new players coming out that are trying to make, you know, basically you can send a transaction to John and really making that user interface easier without the cryptographic addresses and all this stuff. And I mean, you look at like the IOTA wallet and it's just a mess. It's a mess. Total mess. They've got to do better than that. Crypto Numbnuts, Lark, have you heard anything lately with Aphelion? No, I think their token sale has just finished though. So now we wait. Now we wait and see what happens next. So ADA soars today. Yeah, I can't believe what ADA's got up to. It's absolutely absolutely crazy when it comes down to, you know, how big the prices are getting with some of these coins. It's all about trying to really get in there and find them before they pop, but even some of the ones that have already popped have massive potential moving forward. I mean, let's just take Litecoin as an example. Litecoin is $276 right now. That's huge, considering Litecoin was $50 for ages, and I remember all these videos of people saying, I'm selling my Litecoin, and, you know, it's not going fast enough. I want, you know, sick gains right now. And they didn't wait. Litecoin popped. Now, how high can it go? Well, I think this is a question of the crypto market overall. And even though a lot of top 10, top 20 coins are still really high, I'll keep investing in the top 20 coins because, like I said, when we talked about my portfolio, this is where a lot of my investment lies, in the top 20. You know, I'll continue trying to accumulate NEM and Dash and Litecoin and stuff, and yeah, it's a little harder to get those now because they're so much higher in price, but you know, these ones are getting massive support when it comes down to it. You know, the Dash Foundation big, Litecoin's big, Ethereum's big, so this has got a lot of potential moving forward. You know, to see $1,000 Litecoin, I think it's more of a question of time, not of potential. So, El Chambo LFC, when do you think the monthly discount on coins will be? I hope soon. I hope soon, man. That's that would be awesome. That would absolutely be awesome to see the top 20 coming out pretty soon. You know, I'd like to see a nice big discount there. I'll be interested to see if really Christmas, New Year has any effect, because basically the East Asian markets don't care when it comes down to it. Japan, South Korea, they don't celebrate Christmas. Or most people there don't anyway. So, might not have as big of an effect. Can we get some sweet FUD going on? I mean, what can we make up? What can we make up? Satoshi Nakamoto has been discovered, and then he was killed. Okay, let's do it. Go down, Bitcoin, go down. Let's all buy some. No. You just got to be patient, guys. You just got to be patient. This is the thing, is that there will be dips. The dips get smaller as time goes on. It's problematic. It's part of the crypto problem. You know, this is the thing. What will a new big dip on Bitcoin look like? We'll go down to $12,000. With that would be a big dip currently. So we'll just have to wait and see how that actually plays out. But this is the thing. When you look at Bitcoin now and you think, wow, $16,000, that's a lot. But if it's $100,000 in a year, it's actually not that much. And this is going back to an earlier thought on, you know, where you buy the top at 3,000 or 5,000 or 6,000, and then you get a new all-time high 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later. Swornum Thapa, can you do a video on storage of different cryptocurrencies? Yeah, I should do that, actually. I know there's a lot of confusion for new people coming in that they just don't understand where do you store these things? Why are there so many different wallets? I know we all want to see the universal wallet, but reality is it doesn't exist yet. So I'll make a little note there. How to store different cryptos. You're not going to get that video for a few weeks, so I'm going on holiday, but sometime next year I'll make that. We can do that then. Have you seen the unofficial Hashflare mobile app called Cloudmining? It's cool. I have not seen that. I have not seen that. Crypto numbnuts. Ethos is coming. Oh, it's gonna. Ethos is a good long hold. When they get that universal wallet out, when they get the, you know, one-click investment, fiat gateways and all this stuff. It's coming, guys. Mark DeSessa, liking Cos anymore yet? I still don't like Cos. Still don't like Cos. Didn't invest in it, won't invest in it. And it's just more of a question of, you know, too many things that I just didn't like about it, basically. And I know there's a lot of people who invested in Cos, and a lot of people who have done well with Cos, and all this stuff, but the fact that, you know, their market cap is still down at $8 million or whatever, or $10 million, whatever it's at today, in spite of, you know, them working for months trying to get, you know, CoinMarketCap to update what's supposed to be the real amount, I don't know. Not for me, guys. Not for me. But like I said, I'm risk averse. I like to stay on the top. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I couldn't get Daedalus wallet to work. Yeah, wallets. Why is it so hard for these companies to develop wallets? Look, Daedalus wallet, so that is the wallet for ADA made by Cardano. Look, it's basically going to be a multi-currency wallet in the future as well. It's got problems right now. It takes a while to sync and all that stuff, but if you can't get it to work, you got to go and reach out to the teams. And this is a really good advice for anyone who's new and you're having wallet problems or any of this stuff, particularly with a cryptocurrency. Go and reach out to the teams. I was having problems with the Daedalus wallet too. I went and reached out to the teams, no problem. I figured out what the situation was, and I got it working. Nice. Nice. Brinks Mining, thanks for posting up those links. If you guys want to follow along on Steemit or Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I retweet a lot of interesting stuff that I see over there that, you know, I don't put on YouTube because it's just not the right format for it. So follow me along on Twitter as well, guys. And nobody knows the next coin on Coinbase. Like Bitcoin Cash. We'll see. We shall see. Thoughts on an Einsteinium? Thoughts on Electronium? Haven't looked into Einsteinium. I know a lot of people were asking about that a while ago. Electronium, you guys saw my video on it. It's not a project that impressed me, but the marketing has been pretty superior on it. Not something I would invest in. Not something I'm going to invest in. There you go. Asia woke up, says Svetlio. Is Ripple going to be on Coinbase? Oh, interesting. Well, we'll see. It would be a good fit for it, I suppose. Hodlers Weekly. Lark, you mentioned Wellington often. What is that exactly? Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, man. That's my hometown. Well, it's where I live now, actually. My hometown's Waiheke Island, New Zealand. It's north in the country, but it's my town at the moment, so there you go. Okay, last question. Richie Bongers. Lark, can you do a video on a Christmas gift, paper gift? So, if you want to make like a Bitcoin wallet, like a paper wallet, just go to bitaddress.org. It's really easy to do, and you can get it made there. So that would be my recommendation. It's really not that hard to do it, and you can get a paper wallet made and, you know, put that in a card and give it to somebody. It makes a really nice gift. So give the gift that keeps on giving, guys. Give Bitcoin or another altcoin. You can actually make Litecoin paper wallets as well, and actually you can make paper wallets for most coins. So there you go. Okay, video watching says, hey, you don't have a New Zealand accent. You sound American. I grew up in the States. It's a long story. A story that we don't have time for today because I'm getting out of here, guys. I gotta get ready and go to my plane. But no, I am from New Zealand. I am from New Zealand. I've lived here for an incredibly long time. But I grew up in the States. So there you go. That was like another lifetime away. Anyway, guys, this has been a lot of fun, as always. I'm going to miss you guys in these live streams for the next few weeks. Looking forward to seeing you guys back after the holidays. I will be posting videos up during my trip. I'll try and do a few vlogs, and like I said, I've pre-recorded a bit of content for you guys, so, you know, I'll definitely get that out there for you guys too, but there won't be any live streams coming. My flight's in like 3 hours, so I gotta do a little bit more packing and stuff and then run out the door. So Crypto Nuts, you got my email, man. Send me a message about it later. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining into the chat and taking part in the discussion. It's an amazing time, as always. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, happy Hanukkah. Good, what's the other one? Happy Kwanzaa as well. Is Kwanzaa already passed? Happy Kwanzaa anyway. We'll see you guys on the flip side.